Spirit has a message for you, and you need to balance spirituality and practicality. So let's get into it. We're going to shuffle some cards from Spirit to see how you should be balancing spirituality and practicality. That's not always easy to do in our world because you tend to either be so mystical that you ignore reality around you, or you are so focused on the world that you don't appreciate the spirit within you. So let's figure out what you need to know. Spirit, what is important here? So when it comes to spirituality, we have the blue moon, believe in the impossible. You have been doubting spirituality lately. You have been atheistic or agnostic, or maybe even just skeptical. And it's okay to have doubts. It's okay to be not 100% certain, but spirituality isn't about believing in some dogmatic claims. It is about the actual practices you do to feel and relate to the divine. When it comes to the real world, we have the new moon. A new start is coming. A new phase, a new chapter of your life is about to arrive. And because of that, a lot of exciting things are going to happen. You may be even a little bit busy. You may struggle to integrate spirituality in your new routine, but at the same time, this newness actually gives you an opportunity, a new schedule, a new environment, new people, where you can really test things out and experiment in ways that you would have never done before. Your third card is New Moon in Aries. It's time to take action. It is not time to look at spirituality as a theoretical thing. It's not about doing things passively or consuming. It is about doing one actionable thing every single day, or maybe once a week, that you can do consistently. A really good practice where you aren't consuming, you aren't just watching a tarot reading every day, although I appreciate you being here. Rather, try to spend at least 5 minutes some point in your day meditating. You can listen to some peaceful music, some maybe rain sounds. I often do that. You could do complete silence. You could listen to a guided meditation on YouTube. Those are a little bit passive, but they do force you to imagine things in your mind. That's a possibility. And I want you to do something directly spiritual. Journaling is great. I like it, but journaling sometimes doesn't have a spiritual element, so I want you to adopt a common spiritual practice. Now, if you know you don't have time in your daily schedule to do something consistently, maybe you can only do it once a week or maybe once or twice a month, then you do need to do something that is a little bit more involved. I want you to spend at least 15 to 30 minutes doing this thing. It could be a meditation, but if you do need to try something that is more involved like that, more involved in your time, I want you to experiment. Try to write down 3 things that you've always wanted to try that are spiritual. It could be a longer meditation. It could be reading tarot or oracle cards. It could be praying. There's so many options here, but I do want you to try something. Spirit, what are some things that you would like our soul friend to try? What are some actions they can take? So the next card is Cardinal Moon. Be bold and make the first move. So this is a sign, especially since this is a fire card, that you should do something a little bit brave. One thing you could do that could be exciting to try is to meditate, but to meditate by looking at a flame. Do so with some sort of cover or do so in a very small amount of time. It can damage your sight. Don't go look at the sun. That can also damage your sight. But doing something with flame would be really beneficial. It is really energetic. And if you are afraid of damaging your eyes or dealing with any open flames, I am that way. I don't have any open flames in my house. Maybe you could light an incense stick and you can meditate by looking at the smoke plumes that rise up. That's a possibility. I do that sometimes. The next thing you can try is new moon eclipse. Expect powerful change. You could wait until there's a major change in your life, reflect on that, and then use it as a sign from your spirit guides and the universe for something to adopt in your daily life. For example, let's say Rebecca gets a new job, and it wasn't a job that she expected to get. She got a call, she went to the interview, she got accepted, and she found herself employed as a manager for an office company. And in that job, she realizes that she deals with a lot of paper, and she is just drawn to this paper in a way that she never before realized. And so she decides to do a meditative practice involving paper by creating origami cranes. And so that's something you could do based off of your life change that is coming up. Use that as inspiration to adopt some sort of contemplative or spiritual practice. You may find that really rewarding. And then your next card is full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. So this is reminding me of this movie I'm watching right now, First Man, with Ryan Gosling. And I guess back then they pronounced Gemini, that's why I mispronounced it right there. But it makes me think of the United States going to the moon, and there are also a lot of other countries doing some sort of space program, and we're doing it to learn more about our universe. And I think that something that you are doing, something that is brave, something that is practical when it comes to spirituality, you are going to get some sort of answer. And that is one of the benefits of meditation or prayer or tarot and oracle cards, is that you can receive answers that you may have never expected to receive, inspiration that you never expected to have. And I want you to realize that there is a message that only you can interpret, but the only way you're going to be able to interpret this message is if you adopt some sort of consistent spiritual practice, because it's probably going to take a few iterations, a few sessions before you are able to receive that message, but it is very, very important. So instead of 4 cards like I was planning to pull, let's see if we can get a hint of what that message could be. Spirit, what is that message that is coming through? Give us a little teaser. Give us a teaser. The card here is full moon eclipse. Conclusions are within reach. There is a question you have always had, or you are doing a project that feels like it is just never ending, and you've given up, or you just accepted that you're not going to get closure, but you are going to get closure. It's going to be unexpected, but it is going to be a fulfillment of the knowledge you've always wanted to have, and you're going to be able to be at peace. But this conclusion is something, it's a eureka moment. It is something that only you would be able to interpret, that only you would be able to understand. So it could be some sort of perception you have from reflecting on whatever this is, or if there is still some sort of action that needs to be taken, this action may be non-traditional, it may be unique. And so the average advice you would get from a friend, a coworker, a boss, maybe even from a general channeled reading like this one, it's just not going to be specific enough. But when you do your spiritual practice, you are going to get that very, very specific message. And that is finally going to give you the peace that you've always wanted. And so we're going to pull one more card, your last card today. Spirit, what is the last thing you would like our friend to know? What is important here? What would you like them to know today? Your last message is, what do you need to release? The waning moon. So there is something you're not letting go, and you may have had good reasons in the past to not let it go, but it is taking up way too much time in your life. It is causing you way too much stress, and because of that, it is starting to affect your mental health and happiness. And so spirituality is going to help treat that. The conclusion you're going to get is going to help treat it too, but I am sensing this as a general wellness card. And spirituality doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be time consuming. This goes back to the first card of balancing spirituality and practicality. It is about integrating a consistent spiritual practice that you can keep up over time. For example, I love to read. I love to read so much. I even majored in literature in college, but I am not a consistent reader. I will read 10 books in a week or a week or two, and then I won't read for 3 months other than for work or something like that. And I thought, I want to change that. I want to read every day. And so I've been starting off really simple with just 10 minutes. And I am finding it is so easy to start each new day by reading a book. It's really fulfilling. It's really fun. I don't get tired. But in the beginning, when I first started that, and it was the second and third day, it was a little tiring. And I felt the same way with meditation. And so what I want you to understand is that for you, balancing spirituality and practicality is really finding consistency. And your consistency and your particular rituals are going to be a little bit different. Some people are going to want to do something every day for a few minutes, and other people are going to want to do really advanced rituals once a week or once a month, maybe during a full moon. And you just really need to experiment. But once you find what fits you, you are going to be so satisfied. You are going to be healed, because spirituality and practicality represent your spirit and your body. And your mind is what unites these through your intentions. So when you intend to have a spiritual practice that you can keep up consistently, you are going to heal that connection within your mind, body, and spirit, and you're going to feel like a way more whole person. And I am just so happy for you to have that. I am so thrilled. Now, my friend, I am sending you many blessings. Be sure to let me know in the comments what sort of spiritual practice you want to try. You can also go into the comments and description of this video for a link to my Etsy shop to book a private reading, if that sounds exciting to you. Otherwise, I am sending you so many blessings, and I am wishing you peace in your spiritual practice going forward.